Algebra 2, this next mini video from Chapter 2.2 is about how you calculate slope. I realize, again, this is review. You calculate slope either from a graph and the coordinates you have for 2 points, or from the 2 points without seeing them on the graph. First, if you have the graph itself. Well, remember, it's rise over run. It's the change in y over the change in x. So, how much did y change? Well, it went down 4. How much did x change? You went over a positive 5. So it's negative 4 over positive 5, and that's your slope. How about from 2 points? Well, again, slope is going to be the change in y. It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So, for example, if I were given, and this is straight out of the textbook, as you can see, these 2 points, this one and that one, I would simply plug them in. So y2 minus y1 is going to be, in this case, 1 minus 5, and x2 minus x1 is going to be 2 minus negative 3. So notice that's what they've got here, 1 minus 5 over 2 minus negative 3. Now, do remember, when you've got minus negative, the easiest way to think of this is to change that into positive, so that becomes 2 plus 3 on the bottom there. And so now I've got negative 4 over 2 plus 3, or in other words, negative 4 over 5. And that's my slope. Your turn. Find the slope of that. Go ahead and hit the pause button when you're ready. I'll come back and show you the answer. Okay, I'm assuming that you've hit the pause button, done the work, and are now ready to see how I worked it out. There are 2 different ways that you could have done this, depending on which you decided was your y2. Classically, and this is the way the textbook would have done it, you would have said negative 14 is y2, so it would be that negative 14 minus the 2. And the bottom would then be 12 minus negative 5, as I've indicated here. Alternatively, you could have put these values out front, and it could have been 2 minus negative 14, as we've indicated here, and in that case, then it would be negative 5 minus 12. Notice it doesn't matter which way you do it. In one case, you end up with negative 16 over positive 17. The other time, positive 16 over negative 17. But both of those things simplify down to the same thing. A negative on the bottom and a negative on the top, well, you can factor that out in both cases and pull it out front, and these two, the blue and the red, are the same answer. If you need more practice working with negatives, remember I gave you these as a do now in class. So go ahead and hit the pause button if you need that practice. Okay, I'm going to assume that you have done that and you've worked out all 4 of these. And there are the answers to those 4, the same answers that I gave you in class. And that's it. This was a very brief video. Remember, the homework assignment for tonight, just as with the previous video, is on the website.